Okay, I believe we're live. Dennis, welcome to the Leanpub launch video for Scale Smart, Fractal Your Path from Aspiration to Accomplishment. I was wondering if you could take a moment to talk to us and to talk to our audience around the world about yourself and about your book and what it's about and who it's for.
Yeah, thanks, Len, for having me. I'm Dennis, 35 years old. I'm from Germany, and by profession, I'm a software engineer. And I've been obsessed with productivity and life design for over a decade now, and that's what's driven me to sit down and write down my whole worldview and all my knowledge into one book. And I think Leanpub presented the perfect medium for that.
Yeah, you're publishing the book in progress, which we always love to see. So for anyone watching who doesn't know, on Leanpub, we make it very easy to publish your book as you write it, so chapter by chapter. So you've written one chapter that's finished, click the publish button. When you're done your second one, you click publish new version, and you get a new version. So I can see how for Dennis, sort of who's changed his life around how he thinks of productivity and stuff like that. The idea of being able to outline your book, but then publish it as you go, refine your thoughts. And as you say, I believe in either in the introduction to the book or in your book description that getting feedback from people is really important as you go. Um, I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about one concept from the book that I really like called the forest.
Yeah, so have this big metaphor for what it can feel like to accomplish something, and that's like walking through a forest. So you enter on one side, and you hopefully exit on the other, but in between there's like a whole range of different challenges that can come up in life. That could be distraction, overwhelm, misalignment, like you get lost in the forest, um, procrastination, like you're just standing there and don't know which path to take. There's also like precrastination, there's forgetting, perfectionism, and all of that in my book. I map onto this very big metaphor of fighting through a forest. Yeah.
And where do fractals come in?
Yeah. So um, my book has a interesting take on productivity. It uses some like basic math concepts like set theory and fractals, which are from geometry and basically refer to um, something that repeats across different scales. Um, and I use that concept to find what I call conceptual fractals. So if you have different ideas and you think of them kind of different, like let's say you have an action, a task, and a project, um, but you can identify how they are actually the same thing across a different scale, then you can call them a fractal, and that helps you treat them like similarly. So in my book, I call tasks actually sets of actions, and I call projects sets of tasks, and I treat them as sets of intention. And because I think about them as being fractal, I can use the best practices I discover for one for all these other concepts, and it makes structuring workload easier. And that's the whole idea. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very fascinating idea, in particular the idea, as you mentioned, that fractals have this feature of self-similarity. And I really like that, and so I don't think you use this example in the book, but it just occurred to me, one example, I'm making this up, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but to give people an example of how this might work. So, like, let's say I've decided I want to get a university degree, and I have to make a decision about if you're North American model, what subject I want to major in, and then I have to make a decision about what courses I wanna take, and then I have to within those courses, I have to wanna make decisions about what essays I want to write. Would that be an example like that there's a kind of similar repeating at a different scale, a type of decision that's being made that might be a recurring type of research and stuff like that?
Yeah. I mean, basically, any intention, any goal, anything you want to do, um, is both one thing, right? It's you can write it out as a task or as something you want to achieve, but you can also always break it down into finer components. And that's the similarity. So whether you want to become a millionaire or whether you want to clean the garage, both is one thing, but also it's many things if you zoom in and yeah, if you identify the parts in it. And scale smart, that term I came up with, is about finding out the best size for the work unit. So the question would be, for example, is it best to deal with the big thing only, or is it best to break everything down into tiny pieces? And the answer, of course, is it depends. Um, and yeah, that's what the book is about, like finding the size that works.
Yeah, well, it's a fascinating book, Dennis. It's called Scale Smart: Fractal Your Path from Aspiration to Accomplishment. As we mentioned, it's being published in progress, so get your copy now to show support to Dennis and to see his journey as he goes along the way writing the book as well. So thank you very much, Dennis, for being our very first live stream book launch guest. I'll let you know afterwards how it all went.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.